It's very good to see everybody. I was just saying this was the largest gathering I've had of humans in, I think, 15 months.
COVID in some ways really gave cyber a shot in the arm. I think folks saw a downturn when they were scared of what was going to happen. At least with Plex, we looked inside and said, what can we do in the meantime? And we came up with some really tremendous solutions, sharpened our arrow a bit. And I see that replicated over and over again through our ecosystem.
We believe in the talent base of Maryland, specifically around the intelligence community.
Maryland, of the $1.5 billion research activity that we do every year, 97% of it's government facing. Great work, a lot of important work in healthcare and IT and defense related. We need more industry collaboration. And then I think that the only way to get to this point is to have more of an entrepreneurial focus. Maurice and Troy are really helping us in that regard. But our business schools need to start teaching this stuff. Not just get into policy because we know that's against the law, but start looking at what's scalable from a startup. We do 100 new startups every single year.
That it's not just the RackTop system, it's all these systems and how they work together, and being able to see, because this really is the proverbial, the weakest link in the chain is where the problem is. And so being able to have all these fundamental systems working more tightly together is really where this is. If I really read this and really understand it as an investor, how can I find those entities that really understand that integration and prevent those holes from happening? Because at the end of the day, I'm the weakest link. I'm actually the weakest link as a human, and how do you stop me being that weakest link?
That was the biggest problem in the pipeline. It was an accident. It was a forgot. We didn't have two-factor authentication. That's how the bad guy get in.
Complacency, exposed complacency. Yeah, so you're like a mile with Dave, right?
Damn right.
Yeah, no, we saw a lot come out of this last year. We saw that the government's really exposed, terribly so. I mean, even Baltimore, it hit home. We had a Windows server that you could just access from the outside.
But during COVID, how many folks were shopping online, doing a lot of things without regard for the information that they were sharing and the pathways and the gateways that they were making available to their own personal information or their kids' information?
Yep.
Right? I think that its importance is only now, because of the events, the pipeline, the beef producing a facility that was hacked into, the FBI ended up getting back half of the ransom.
So there's these advances in computing are going to have just a transformational effect on business, on society. But with that, there's one pretty large negative externality, and that quantum computing will have the ability to break modern day encryption. So that's where we come in.
And it's all about the data. We need to protect the data. Bad guys are not after firewalls and servers. That's their access to hold us ransom for the data. So I think let's read this next question, but I think that's the right prescription, the right wording, and the logging levels and the forensics and the trust but verify. That has been built into me since I was 19 years old. Everything you do, you trust but verify. Take your bearings twice. Make sure that you're supposed to be here, supposed to be doing. Trust but verify needs to be in every single step.
Yes. Where we're putting $50 to something, it's got to be $5,000. When we're putting $5,000, it's got to be $5 million. Where's $5 million? It's got to be $5 billion. Because we've got to rethink this, and it can't just be from the state. It's got to be a combination of the state and that's the role that CAMI can play. And we all need to go. And Tom's heard me say this term, the coalition of the willing. We got to get a bunch of us together. We're marching down to Annapolis together with a clarity of what we're trying to do, a clarity of what we need and why we need it.